Tell me that it's my fault that it's over. Wish I played it different, I didn't know. All the times that you called me to be closer. Wish I paid attention, I should've known. You're probably with your friends, dancing on tabletops. Hands in his hair already, saying that you forgot about me. I just don't wanna know who you give your loving to. You'll end up leaving here with someone. I just don't wanna know you be drinking way past 2, lights out and it's not me you're loving. I just don't wanna know you it's all you I just don't wanna know it's all cold sheets when you're leaving. Used to sleep between them, now I'm sleeping different. I let you go, I'm not used to feeling like I'm needed. Guess I must have missed it, I should've known. You're probably with your friends, dancing on tabletops.
Hi team, I hope you're all well. It is Thursday the 1st of October and it's currently 5:10. Just going to do a normal reading vlog. It's just going to be like an extended weekend one, a long weekend one, starting on Thursday, finishing on Sunday, which is great. So, here we are. I am reading Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I'm currently on page 183. So I haven't got long left to go. I think there will be about 60 pages left to go with this. So yeah, this is basically about a store, a little bit like IKEA, exactly like IKEA. It's just a knockoff version of IKEA. They literally say that in the book. So it's a store called Orsk, which sells like knockoff versions of the furniture that IKEA sell. And we're following several different characters. We're mainly following Amy, who is one of the girls that works in the store. We're also following Ruth Ann, who is an older woman who's worked there for like 13 years. We're following Basil, who is the manager, one of the like lower managers. We're following Matt and Trinity. So basically there have been some strange goings on in Horror Store. This is the name of the book. There have been some strange goings on in the Orsk store. Furniture broken, more furniture than usual broken, furniture soiled, different things like this, furniture being moved about in the night, and they're worried that somebody's broken in. So Basil has asked Amy and Ruth Ann, on the basis that nobody else would do it, everybody else he asked wouldn't do it, he's asked them to, will they stay behind with him, do like an overnight shift, he'll pay them double and try and figure out what's going on. So they decide to do that, and halfway through the round, Basil has gone doing one lap of somewhere in the store, and Ruth Ann and Amy have done another lap somewhere else and in the store, and partway through their lap they see Matt and Trinity, who are trying to catch ghosts on film. They want to be ghost hunters on Bravo, and they are trying to catch ghosts on film. Now, as it turns out, it looks like this store might be haunted. This is a ghost story, and I believe in ghosts, so I'm fucking terrified of this book. I got to page 66 last night. I know yesterday was still September, but I had finished my September TBR, so I had nothing else to pick up, so I started on my October TBR, got to page 66 and put it down, pick something else up. It was too scary for me to read in the dark, so I decided I was going to finish it today in the daytime. So I've just got like about 60 pages left to go. Yeah, that's where I'm up to. This is really, really terrifying. I can't tell you much more than that, but it is really, really frightening, and I don't know if it's just because I'm a scaredy cat or whether this is actually terrifying, but I don't read a lot of horror. The horror that I've read has been like Stephen King's Carrie or Pet Sematary, that's the type of horror that I've read. Rose Madder, I don't know if that's deemed more thriller than it is horror, but I sort of see Carrie and Pet Sematary as psychological thrillers more so than I do horror, and I've said that when I've read them and then reviewed them. So they've never really terrified me as such. So Pet Sematary terrified me only on the basis that I finished the book off at night. So I got to like the 80% mark and finished the rest of it off at night, and I live across the road from a church and a cemetery. So that's why it terrified me. That's the only reason it terrified me though. I think had I read it in the day, I'd have been fine. But otherwise, I sort of see those as psychological thrillers. This is horror, and I am scared out of my wit. So I'm reading this at the moment, and I'm glad that I'm sort of going to get through this early on in the month. I didn't think it was going to be this terrifying. I've picked this for the prompt of Yellow Fever, which is to read a comedy horror, which granted, this to begin with was really, really funny. I was laughing out loud. It's no longer funny anymore. I don't know how this is going to end, but I don't find it funny anymore. But yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. And then last night, because I put that down 66 pages in, I then decided to pick up Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I am so mad at myself for sitting on this book for so long. This is following friends Eli and Victor, who are at uni together. Basically, this is told in two different timelines specifically, but we do kind of jump all over the place with the time, and it's really helpful that each chapter will tell you what timeline we're currently in. So at the top of the timeline, we're in current day, but we're also is this going to focus? But we're also 2 days ago. So we're in like current day, but we're also in the past 2 days ago, if that makes sense. So this will jump from current day to 10 years ago, when Eli and Victor were at college together, and they were about to start doing their thesis. And Eli wanted to do a thesis based on extraordinaries, which are people that are deemed to have extra powers, like superpowers. Now, they've come up with a theory that basically in order to become an extraordinary, you need to have a near-death experience, and they test this theory. And then we jump 10 years into the future, where we're finding out that Victor has broken out of prison. He's been in prison for the last 10 years. He has extraordinary powers. I don't know about Eli yet, but I'm assuming that he has extraordinary powers as well now, and they're both extraordinaries. But Victor and Eli are now enemies. So I don't know where this is going to go. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's relatively sciencey based. It's quite sci-fi-ish, and I don't know why I wasn't expecting that, because I have heard this being sold as a sci-fi, but I don't think I was just expecting it to be as sci-fi-ish as it is. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving how the chapters are quite short. We're jumping through time zones as well. I don't find it quite, sometimes on occasion, I know I said in last week's reading vlog that the Sundown Motel I found quite jarring with the time zone jumps. I think that was because we were coming to quite a good point with that character's chapter, and then all of a sudden we would jump. Like, we were getting to a really informative point with that character's chapter, and it was really taking off and taking flight, and I wanted to carry on with that, but then it jumped back and we sort of were thrown back again. It felt like starting the book all over again, whereas this is not like that, because the chapters are short and you're getting bursts of information which is building the story up in your head. It's very cleverly done. I love the writing style. This is, Addie LaRue was my first sort of full dive in with V. Schwab, but I haven't finished Addie LaRue, so this will be my full first book with V. Schwab, and I'm so excited. I can't believe I've sat on this for so long. So very excited to be reading this. I got to page 66 last night, which is ironic because I got to page 66 in Horror Store last night as well. So apparently we have a thing about sixes, which is, you know, if you get 3 of them, the devil's mark. So this is sprucing up to be a spooky as fuck October by the looks of things, but I'm really enjoying this, and I'm excited to pick this back up again tonight. So yeah, really hyped about reading this one. And then I would also like to get to this week, I know I'm stretching myself a little bit, but I'd also like to get to Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. This comes out on the 6th of October. Thank you to Frankie from Little Brown for sending me a copy of this. This is a finished copy. I did start this. I got to page 15. I didn't get very far at all. But yeah, really excited to continue on with this. I'll tell you more about it when I pick it up. I'd also like to get to The Wolf and the Water by Josie Jaffrey, which comes out on the 8th of October. And then I would also really like to pick up This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins. I don't know if I'll finish this weekend, but it'd be nice to at least start it. I am reading and reviewing this. I am doing a review on this on the 18th of October, so keep your eyes open over on Instagram for this one. Thank you to Penguin Random House for sending me a copy of this. This is a finished copy. I do have an e-arc of it, and they sent me an email to ask me did I want a finished copy of it and to join the blog tour, so I said yes. So thank you very much to them for sending me a copy of this. I'm really excited to get to this. And I think that these will be really nice. I know it's spooky month, but I think these will be really nice to sort of take me down a notch from this. I think I'm going to need it, to be honest. And I don't know how far this is going to go on the scary scale. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to reading all of these this week. I'm going to go. Okay, I just finished Horror Store. It's 36 minutes past 6. I've just ordered Chinese. I'm so hungry now. Yeah, I'm not sure what to rate this. I'm gonna have to put it through Corpile and make my decision that way, but I will let you know as soon as I know. This, my battery's dying, ended in a way I didn't expect. It kind of doesn't end, if that makes sense. This story could go on and on and on, but it doesn't. This terrified me and it did the job, didn't it really? Let's face it, it's a spooky book. It terrified me, it worked. So yeah, I am going to read while I wait for my food to come. I think I might carry on with spoiler alert actually a little bit, because I kind of want to read Vicious later on. But yeah, I'm going to carry on with spoiler alert while I wait for my food to come. It's going to be about 50 minutes. So I will check back in with you when I've got something to update you on. Team, it is currently very bright because I'm sat in front of my computer. It's currently, well, I don't even know what time it is. It's Saturday and it's 11:45. I'm editing last week's reading vlog, which is taking an age, and it's currently throwing it down outside, which is perfect reading weather, and I'm sat editing on my computer because I didn't get this uploaded this week because I've not been well. So I'm feeling better today, which is great news. My head isn't hurting half as much, but I can still feel it. It's like a dull throbbing in the front of my head this morning. So we'll see how that goes. Just need to keep my eye on it and not push myself too much, which is why I've got my glasses on. I always forget to put my glasses on when I'm on the computer. They're for like computer work and for when they're for driving at night mostly, but I tend to put them on if I'm struggling with pain in my head or a migraine or something. So I have a parcel. So this is, I know what this is. I ordered it last week, but it's taken a little bit of time to get here, so I'm very excited to have my copy now. It is Believathon 3 Compendium, which is for the mystery of the missing Maleficarum. Maleficarum, I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm so excited to collect these and support Gav. If you don't know about the Believathon, it's a middle grade readathon that will be hosted in November, and it's hosted by Gav from How to Train Your Gavin, and he just goes to the ends of the earth to make these as fun as he possibly can. The idea is to read middle grade books and he has done such an amazing job this time. This is like a murder mystery one, so there's like a map in the front, and there's certain things that you need to be collecting, like a key, and then he's managed to get authors involved as well, like Robin Stevens and Sophie Anderson and Jamie Littler and Roshni Chokshi, and he's just done amazing, and I'm so proud of him. So I really wanted to support him. You can get this for free online as just like a PDF, but I really wanted to support him and buy the compendium. I bought last year's compendium as well, or was it earlier this year's compendium? Whatever compendium it was, I bought it for Believeathon 2, and I will continue to buy these so that I can support Gav. They've got some great recommendations in them, and yeah, I'm really excited about Believeathon in November. So that's what I bought from Amazon. And then reading update, I started reading, spoiler alert, last night. Well, actually I was already a chapter in, but I picked it back up again last night and I got to page 67, so I'm on chapter 6. And I have really mixed feelings about this book at the moment. So this is, I don't know if I've explained this or not to you, but this is a fanfic book. Marcus is an actor and he writes fanfiction. He writes his frustrations out of the show in fanfiction. Obviously, the crew don't know about it because he will lose his job if they did. But he doesn't like how the show is going, and he doesn't like how the show is ending and how his character arc is going to end. And he writes his frustrations out in fanfiction. Nobody knows it's him that's writing this fanfiction. He has a beta reader who he doesn't know personally, but his beta reader is April. Marcus is her beta reader because she writes fanfiction as well, but she's also into cosplay. Now April is a fat girl and she usually crops her photos if she ever uploads a photo of her in cosplay, but she uploaded this photo that wasn't cropped. She just has decided that she's just going to own her life and just be who she wants to be and own what she's interested in. She uploaded a photo to Twitter and it went viral, and it went viral in both the good and bad sense. So she was getting both really nice comments and both negative comments as well. And this guy tagged Marcus in one of his comments saying, oh, look at this fat cow, blah blah blah, just being really derogatory basically towards April. And Marcus ended up asking her out on a date just to shun the negative people that were giving her shit. So she's gone out on this date with him. Now, I was really shocked. April's a geologist. Her daytime job is a geologist. I was really shocked. These two obviously don't know that they're actually chatting to each other online via a fanfic like forum or something. Now, a couple of things that are bothering me about this. One, it took a long time for me to get into this book because the first chapter was a relatively long chapter. It was like 16 pages, and it was basically just Marcus talking us through exactly what scene he was currently doing on this show, which I wasn't that bothered about. I felt like it went into a lot of detail that we didn't need to know. So I wasn't really interested in that. There are clips of the fan fiction that these two are discussing in here. There are clips from Marcus's show, Gods of the Gates, as well, which I just don't know. I think the idea is that they just add a bit of flair to the story because it is based around fan fiction, and I get that, but I'm just not interested in them at all. Just find it a little bit boring and it's frustrating. It pulls me out the story a little bit. A couple of other things as well is that I had no idea going into this. I knew it was adult, but I had no idea going into this that Marcus was 40 years old and April was 36. No idea. They don't, you only find that out around about chapter 5, so about 50 pages in, and they do not read as being that age at all. And even on the cover, he does not look 40 and she does not look 36. Do you know what I mean? Like, if anything, this cover looks like a YA cover rather than adult cover. So that was a surprise to me as well. And I don't know, I'm finding it a little bit difficult to get through, which I was really, really surprised about. I thought this was going to be, you know, a really quick, pick it up, really enjoyable, smutty read. And I'm just not vibing with it, which is a real shame. So I think a couple of the other things as well is I actually went on Goodreads. Sometimes I do this, if I'm struggling with a book, I'll go on Goodreads and have a look at the negative reviews just to see whether or not it's something that is a common theme that I'm feeling with it, or whether it's just me. Maybe it's my mood. Sometimes it can be my mood that's the problem and not the book. So I went on Goodreads to have a quick look, and one of the people that has rated it a bit negatively, the majority of reviews for this are 4 or 5 stars. but there are a couple of more negative reviews, and one of the reviews, I think it was like a 3-star review or a 2-star review, and she mentioned that if you don't follow fanfic, which I don't, you might struggle with some of the terms in here, which I am. So one of the terms is like AO3 or something, and there is no explanation as to what that is. So I've been reading this thinking that this is something that I've missed earlier on in the book, an explanation for it, and I'm just carrying on with it and pretending that it's not even there. I've no idea what it means. I've got no clue what it means. This girl has explained it thankfully in her review, but I still don't know what it means. I didn't take it in, I don't remember. But a couple of other things as well. There's just fanfiction terminology in here that if you aren't into fanfiction whilst reading, like if you're not a fanfiction fan and you don't read fanfiction and you're not on fanfiction forums, you won't know the terminology, and it's not explained, which is frustrating a little bit. So I don't know. There was the second chapter, obviously the first chapter was introducing us to Marcus, the second chapter introduced us to April, and again I feel like they just went into a bit too, I feel like Olivia went into a bit too much explanation into April's job of geologist that isn't conducive to the story, if that makes any sense. It just doesn't add to the story in any way. I don't know, I'm struggling to vibe with this book. I'm 66 pages in, hopefully I'll get through it, we will see. I don't know, I'm struggling. I don't even want to pick it back up, in all honesty. But then also Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I'm currently now 193 pages into this. I'm up to part 2 and I am loving this so far. So I've been worried that horror stores put me in a slump. Similarly, my mood has not been great this week because I've not been well, so I've been worrying that that's the reason why I'm struggling with this, and it could just be that alone, and whether or not to put this down and not rush it for it coming out on the 6th and just get through it through the month. This actually, it comes out in ebook on the 6th, but it doesn't come out in paperback till the 12th of November. So I wondered whether or not to just leave it till like later on in the month and then review it on the 12th of November for the paperback release in the UK. But I actually think it's the book and not me, because I am loving this and all I want to do is pick this book up. That's the only thing I want to do. So yeah, I don't know, I think it's probably the book, which is a shame. So I'm hoping to get through another chunk of this today, if not finish yet. I'm like just about halfway through, we'll see. And then I would still like to finish this weekend if at all possible. If I don't DNF it or I don't decide to just put it down and maybe come back to it later on in the month, we'll see. And then I would still like to start and finish The Wolf and the Water by Josie Jaffe this weekend as well. I think I was probably pushing my luck a little bit too much. I didn't think I was as ill as I've been this week with my migraines when I decided what I wanted to read this week. So I don't think I'm going to get to this time next year. I'm going to have to put that on next week's TBR, which is fine. But yeah, if I can get through these two this weekend, I'll be really happy. But I mean, if I could get through this as well, I would be really happy, but I'm not going to force myself through this if it turns out like 100 pages in that I'm still really struggling. I will probably DNF it if I get to that point. I really hope that's not the case, because I had such high hopes for this book. It's been on my wish list since I found out about it like earlier on this year. So when I got the opportunity to get a finished copy off the publishers, I was like, yes, please. I've been waiting for this book. It's highly anticipated. And I'm just gutted that I'm not vibing with it. Really, really gutted about it. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna finish editing this video. I'm hoping it won't take me too much longer. I've already been doing it for like an hour and a half, so I'm hoping it won't take me too much longer and then I can get it uploaded and out in the world today. We will see. I was going to edit another video today, but I actually might just leave it, not do too much screen time, and edit one tomorrow. Just split my time up a little bit, so I could edit one tomorrow and then edit one on Monday, or 2 on Monday. What I need to do is make sure that I've got videos edited and uploaded and ready to go for while I'm away the week after next, because I don't know what the internet's going to be like up at the cottage, and I don't want to risk not being able to upload anything that whole week. So I need to make sure I've got videos filmed, edited and uploaded ready for me just to press, you know, the public button on YouTube Studio. So I need to make sure I'm on top of that next week a little bit. So so yeah, I'm going to carry on editing and then I will check back in with you later when I've got something to update you on.
I don't wanna let you down. It's the only thing I think about every morning. You know my life ain't figured out, but I promise if you stick around it'll never get boring. We'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flats even though we can't afford them. I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna lose you now. Will you stay?
Good morning team, it's Monday and I'm going to wrap this vlog up. I'm about to edit said vlog and try and get it ready to go for tomorrow. I need to edit a couple more so that I've got some vlogs for while I'm away next week. So I think today's going to be mostly an editing day, but we will see. Right, let's let you know what I've read this week. I have read one book this week, which if you've been watching my recent hour-long reading vlogs for Supernaturalathon will be a shocker to you, because I'm usually finishing like 5 or 7 books. So I finished Horror Store on day 1 of the month and I haven't finished anything since. My migraine has been really bothering me this week a lot, and it's really impaired my reading, so it's been real difficult for me this week. So on that basis, I finished one book, which was Horror Store, which I finished on the 1st of the month, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This was terrifying. You'll have seen me going on about it throughout the week. I started Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade and I got to page 114 and put this down. Couldn't decide if this was because of my mood or the book, so I've made the decision to put it down for now and I'll come back to it later on in the month, which is a shame. This comes out on the 6th of October, which for me is tomorrow, but for you guys is today. So happy publication date to Spoiler Alert. But yeah, I've put this down for the time being. It's a real shame I've not been able to get to it before it comes out, but I would rather put it down temporarily than just make the decision to DNF it on the basis that I'm not enjoying it, because I might enjoy it next week or the week after. That I also started Elantris by Brandon Sanderson last night. This is going to be all over the place, I apologise. This I'm buddy reading with Catherine and Anna, and I got to page 98 last night. I'm listening to this on audio and we brought it forward because I said I didn't really want to take this with me on holiday, so by starting this, we brought it forward to finish on Friday, but I started it last night so that I can finish it on Thursday, so I don't need to take it with me on holiday on Friday, because there's no point in taking this with me for the sake of a few sections. I can take like 2 other books on the basis that this is chunky. So yeah, started this, enjoying it so far, it's going really well. I couldn't really tell you what's going on. It's a lot, it's high fantasy. We'll see what happens. I started The Wolf and the Water yesterday by Josie Jeffrey as well. This comes out on the 8th of October. Had every single month running through my head then, but October, and I got to page 107 yesterday. So I'm hoping to finish this before the 8th so I can take a picture and do a review. And then finally, I also started Vicious this week and got to page 193, way off. Well, not way off, I was off. 193 of this, loving this so far. So I did start quite a few books this week, but we are where we are with it. I finished one book this week, that's fine, whatever. I'm mad about it, but I'm gonna let it go because I have to. So we'll see how this week goes. Hopefully it will be better, but the following week's vlog is only from Monday through till Thursday, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I finished one book. I don't know what's wrong with me. I finished one book. So that's the end of this reading vlog. That was so rambly, I apologise. I am looking forward to editing this and getting this up for you guys tomorrow, today, for you lot. So yeah, I know this one has been a bit boring. I'm really sorry. I haven't really done anything, and because I've not been well, it's been a bit of a shit vlog. I've been all over the place. My apologies. I hope it's not shit enough that I don't even upload this, but obviously if I don't upload this you won't even see this clip, so but yeah, I will see you next week. Bye for now.